what happens when you as an audience design masks for my projects. I really hope this doesn't backfire. The first one is by Stitch Lover 45374, who says she would like a female pink fairy armadillo with fairy wings, a big skirt, and a crop top like Jasmine from Aladdin, with a very high-pitched voice and very cute personality, with a stress of a very high-pitched voice and is never mean. Pink fairy armadillos do exist, and honestly, they are probably the most ugly type of armadillos in my opinion. Fairy in the animal kingdom actually just means small, and there has been masks that have been based on the fairy variant. I'm talking mostly in the top of my head a blue penguin, because a fairy penguin is blue and is from New Zealand. Honestly, to incorporate the fairy and the pink armadillo idea was the most nightmarish to do because of the shell and the wings, as well as the clothing. The only way I was able to do it is make the fairy dress up instead with the shell as kind of like a support for the wings, and in the end I decided to name it Fairy Dillo. Next up is Lucas663. I have a costume idea I've had for a while. It's called Viking, a male, but he's a mammoth and also partly frozen. Okay, for this mask I decided to do a woolly mammoth with the tusks, because that means it's male, with a helmet and with ice cubes as arms and legs, and that's originally all I had to go on, because to do the frozen it would have to take a lot of design choice and I didn't want to overly overwhelm it, so that's why I went off and then I did some messing around. Okay, so this was the concept I settled with. I did change the name to Mammoth, but Viking also works too. I just think in this design it looks way more like a mammoth than a Viking, so that's what I decided to stick with. And there isn't that many mammoths in the Masked Singer anyway, so I think using mammoth is more appropriate. Number 3 is Potato785, saying that he would like a Liberian or book, but he hasn't decided on the name. That is a male, with the face as a blank book, wearing a suit with a graduation cap on its head, with very polite and mannerful personality, but like Guardian Angel and Wolf, gets very annoyed when someone cheats or goes out of place. A mask based on university, yay! Specifically, I was thinking more about the lecturers. It's actually a really interesting concept, so I really enjoy the idea of having a lecturer, but instead of it being like a teacher or a student, the face is like a very big, heavy, traditional uni textbook. Definitely gave me a lot to work with, even though it was very specific, but at least I've got a very clear idea of what I'm going to do. So here's your final design. I decided with the name book at the end because I went more of the uni lecture route and the uni book route, which makes more sense with the graduation cap. So I did exactly what I was going to do. This one's by Lola Gamers and it is a very long description, so I'm going to summarize it for you. It's the idea of it being a spade and it's male, with the head being a spade that is grinning, kind of like gambling, with red eyes to represent the suit. The middle is an ace card of this spade, with black hands and arms, cape, with boots with spades on either side. It's actually a very long design and very detailed, which that's why I'm just summarizing it here, but feel free to pause and read more if you want to know. And completely original idea indeed, I applaud that, and the detail makes this really easy for me to do. So instead of designing about my design choices and creative libraries, I'm just going to make it clear here, there is enough there for me just to follow the description. I can't really do anything creatively here because it will go against the description, so I decided just to follow it to a T. And following that exact description, I made this. Obviously the colours and that won't matter because it's only a summary unless I take it further. The only difference I did do was the fact that instead of making the 3 on the legs because the boots were so high up, I decided to do spade pattern tights instead. But yeah, apart from that, this is exactly what you asked, so I hope you like it. The last one is by Tammy Young 3398. She would like a female hippo, but a black hippo with an orange Disney princess dress. And the personality she would like is kind of like a stereotypical Disney princess, cheerful and kind. So, here's the thing. I drew a hippo literally the day before I set this challenge up. So, instead of starting right from the beginning, I took this more as a redesign. And I did actually take it far because basically I took it more as a redesign. And I basically used even the concept, which I did quickly draw up, was basically using the original one but giving it new clothes and then obviously doing it then. So it's up to you to decide whether you prefer the original or this new redesign. So there's no actual orange Disney princess, but obviously I did change the position a bit because that's my plan to make it more cheerful and positive because it will have a slightly different personality, and actually went more of the design of Snow White, the original Disney princess, because the colours best fit the black skin and the design of the cheerful personality. The basis sketch is actually very similar to the original. The only thing is the back headdress thing that Snow White does have and Leopard US has, I decided to remove it because I feel like the head would be too large. So it didn't need to be a bigger mass than it already is, and it'd probably be too uncomfortable to move around in. And here is the final design. I'm going to do a poll to see which hippo you prefer or use, but feel free beforehand to let us know in the comments. Obviously, I have mixed opinions and I like both, but it's up to you to see which hippo you prefer. Now on to which one I would take fully in furthest, and I'm excluding a hippo because obviously if I did a hippo sketch when I already had a hippo and it got revealed or actually the show goes ahead, then that would have caused complications. So we're excluding hippo here for the competition because she already had a final design. I was actually going to do book full, and then I watched a documentary this morning saying about these elephants, and there was about this one elephant who had damage to its ear based on hunting and fighting humans, and how he became dominant and looked very, very respected, and then became the alpha, which that reminded me of doing mammoth, and now I had an idea. So I was also aware, especially with the type of thing I do, is about illegal hunting and all that, and elephants basically losing their tusks. So I decided to change the design quite a bit, and it actually gave me something to work with, and so I decided to just, in short, do the mammoth. And here is the sketch design. As I said, very different. Some of the differences is different eyebrows. The tusks are obviously lost to tell the story. Viking clothes instead of the weird animal print sash. And instead of it being ice cubes, it's more like ice fraud fist and ice fraud legs to represent this story of them basically punching his way out into today and basically using them as weapons too. And here's the final design. The only other thing was adding like almost scars slash wall paint to design. But here it is. Mammoth will be in the next project, and a hippo. Whether you call it Mammoth or Viking will also be decided on a poll to see which one you would prefer. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully the new project is in works and not long till it's due to be announced. Or if TMS Rebirth's ready, I hope TMS Rebirth will happen soon. But whatever happens, hopefully it won't be long for some next big news. Thanks for watching everyone, and I hope you have a good day.